How's it going, guys? Well, welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to My Darling's Embrace in the Steinsgate universe, where we are with Kurisu, and she's given up. She's like, fine, we can't send an email. I'm going to my hotel room. Okabe, you're coming with me. So we're like, okay. So eventually, after a literal sleepless night, where neither of them bathed, and maybe one of them only went to the bathroom, they've just decided to throw decorum out the window and pretenses aside and just survive, which I think is great. So we're going to see how that plays out, and we're going to see if the two of them can actually, like, you know, start being true friends, which, I mean, we already know they will. I mean, it's Okabe and Kurisu, they're fine, but it's fun and interesting to see how this dynamic is going to start playing out together. So let's jump right into it and get started. There's not really any other preamble to it. It's just like they're attached by the bracelets and we got to move forward, so let's just go. Neither one of us said a word as we made our way to the station. From Akihabara to Ochanomizu. Normally, we could have walked it, but we were too exhausted to even consider it. It was just about sunset when we arrived. See, there's no way shenanigans can really get down, because like all they're gonna do is they're gonna probably like take turns taking showers, and then they're just gonna collapse and fall asleep. Fortunately, Ochanomizu is the only one step away. It'll take 3 minutes at most. Once we arrive, Kurisu's hotel is an additional 5-minute walk from the station. As she approaches the front desk, the attendant hands her a key without even asking for her room number. I wonder if Kurisu's noticed the curious look the attendant gave her when they noticed me beside her side. After that, we took an elevator to the 6th floor. We stopped in front of one particular door in the hallway full of them. Why? Wait, what? Why? Oh, is it a mess?
Nani?
いいから目をつむって、その後は私が中まで先導するから。
Oh gosh, this is sounding weird.
そのままいいって言うまで絶対に目を開けるんじゃないぞ。わかったわね。
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe she's got her unmentionables laying around. I didn't know what was going on, but I did as instructed.
それじゃ入るから。絶対に目を開けるなよ。絶対だぞ。
Oh, the more you say it, the more I want him to open his eyes.
それは目を開けろという振りでは。
Exactly.
あ？
ないのだな、理解した。
To keep it closed forever. Roger that. She opens the door and lets me into the room.
そこで待ってて。
After a few steps, she tells me to wait, so I stand still. I can hear her moving around in the room.
今度はこっち。
I did so for about 5 minutes. Yeah, she's like cleaning. Then she took me by the arm and moved me somewhere else. For another 5 minutes. During which time I stood still with my eyes shut, just as I promised. Just as I was getting impatient and preparing to complain.
いいわよ。目を開けて。
Alright, what's she got here for us? I heard her voice at my side and slowly opened my eyes. It's just a room. To a room far beyond anything I'd imagined.
お前もしかして日本に滞在中はずっとここで寝泊まりしてるのか。
最近はラボで明かすこともあったけど、基本はここね。
I mean, I'd entertained the thought when I saw this hotel's exterior, but I imagined she might have had a tiny room for business trips or something. Perhaps that was wishful thinking. This girl, she said that she was staying at a regular hotel last time I asked, but to book a place like this, she really is celeb 17. So like, well, okay, she has a full-time job, and trust me, like, even if she wasn't working at a premier university doing like cutting-edge like research, like, especially if she's single, like doesn't have to take care of a family, she's got the money to do this, especially if she continues to be paid even while she's over here in Japan, which sounds crazy, but especially when you're operating under grant money, like that's kind of how that really works okay, well, not true. Okay, grants tend to grant you a lot of money all at once, so if you manage it properly, it effectively is your salary plus anything you need for like getting your research off the ground. And if you're working for a university, they usually give you like a salary, but your salary can be proportionate to the grants you're able to acquire. But yeah, so she technically is just getting paid while she's over here. Like, I'm sure they have questions for her, but considering like The fact that she came over here for a reason, she's probably been taking vacation. Yeah, she's got the funds coming in. It's one of the good things about getting into STEM, getting into a solid science. If it's your cup of tea, like, there's always going to be a need for scientists. Like, even if you're not doing important research, like, science is a really solid career path.
教えてくれ。一体どんな悪いことをすればこんな部屋に滞在できるのだ?
I don't know, graduating from college with a decent degree and actually applying it.
人聞きの悪いことを言うな。そんなこと一切しとらんわ。
Yeah, it's fair point.
それより何か飲む?
Aww.
ドクターペッパーはあるか?
Probably not.
あいにくだけどない。来る途中に買ってくればよかったわね。コーラでいい?
Kurisu opened the fridge and took out a cola. Of course, I made sure to stay within a 1 meter radius of her as she moved around the room. I looked at the bottle of soda she gave me. This has to be from the hotel's minibar. It must cost at least twice the price of what at a convenience store. And she can hand me something this expensive without batting an eye. Celeb Sev is something else.
安心して。毒なんか入ってないから。
Oh, it's funny because like she's being silly like that, but like he's actually being kind of considerate of like the cost. Down the bottle. Given that I'd been too afraid to drink anything since the bathroom incident, the beverage felt as though it raised me from the dead.
それにしても、さっきは何をバタバタと騒がしくしていたのだ?
それはほら、一応あんたでも男の人なわけだし、迎え入れるにあたって片付けなきゃならないものとかいろいろあるの。
Aww.
片付けなきゃならんも
の? だからホテル暮らしもしばらく続くと散らかったりとかいろいろあるのよ。
Right. Lots of things, like clothing.
いろいろ?
そうよ。いろいろよ。
心配しなくとも。別に俺はお前のクマタンパンツが干してあろうと気にはせんのだが。わかってんなら
言うな。つうかクマタンパンツなんて何年か前に卒業したのよ。
A few years ago? Just a few? The other thing about that is, well, first of all, too, like teddy bear panties. Okay, sure. The other thing is, though, like, Okabe should have brought some clothes so he can shower. I'm sure he's starting to get ripe.
なるほど。ということは、数年前までは履いていたということだな。クマタンパンツを。
Oh, shut your face.
つい勢いで。岡部、今の話は。
なんだクマパン。
She will kill you.
どうだ最近のアナウンサーみたいで悪くない呼び方だと思うぞ。
Good branding.
あんた、それ以上クマパン言ったら二度とこの部屋から出られなくしてやるからな。
Fair point. Seriously? I was just trying to lighten the mood a little.
ねえ、岡部。
Okay. Kurisu's face grew stern as she looked at me.
なんだ助手よ。
さすがに疲れたし、そろそろ寝ようかと思うんだけど。
そうか。
Right.
では俺も休むとしよう。
Just on the floor, right?
もう一度言っておく。私、あんたを信用してるから。
Aww. But she's also trying to pound it. Please don't do anything weird.
わかっている。安心しろ。
She trusts me. That's what she just said. That's why she brought me here. Then I must repay that trust in kind.
それじゃあ、そのまま動かないで。
Okay.
ちょっと待て。
何？
貴様。その手に持っているものは何だ？
What? Did you have like a taser or something?
何って、目隠しとロープだけど、何？もしかしてあんた見たことないの？
Oh gosh. When you say you trust me, I'm not getting a sense your actions are matching with your words.
そういうことを聞いているのではない。それをどうするつもりだと聞いているのだ。
決まってるじゃない。今から私が寝て起きるまで変なことができないようにこれでじっとしててもらうのよ。
I knew it! You don't trust me at all!
寝て起きるまでだと？一体どれだけの間そんな目に合わせるつもりだ？
悪いけど我慢しろ。私の安眠のためだ。
俺の安眠はどうなる？
あんたはちょっとくらい疲れてる方がおとなしくていいのよ。
Dang her!
冗談ではないぞ。俺のことを信頼していると言ったあの言葉は嘘だったのか？
信頼はしてるわよ。でもそれとこれとは別。念には念を入れなきゃね。
You look a little too pleased to just be wanting to be careful. She's smiling, but her eyes are filled with grim determination. Looks like she's not kidding after all.
そもそもクリスティーナよ。なぜお前、部屋に目隠しやロープなどを常備しているのだ？
He's got a good point.
まさかお前、そういう趣味なのか？
Oh gosh, why did you say it?
しかし、だからといって、至ってノーマル思考、性的な意味で閉じな俺を相手にするのは間違っているぞ。
なわけあるか。アイマスクは飛行機内で使うため、ロープはちょっとした洗濯物を干すため、旅行の必須アイテムだろうが。
Okay, I know that they often show like people in Japan hanging clothes. Is that really like a super common thing? Like I always assumed it was kind of like oh, it's like I always thought it was like a rustic type feel or something that like a lot of families like grew up not like hanging their clothes. 'Cause I grew up with hanging clothes. For me, like we were really poor when I was young, and so we couldn't afford a dryer. So we had a washing machine, and then my mom would hang our clothes up in the backyard. But we got a drying machine pretty quickly. Like, is that just not a common thing in Japan at all? Like, I just don't even know. Like, but like they always show people hanging their clothing, or is it more like a choice? Is it like fresher and like just more traditional, or I don't know. Like, it just seems like why would you bring a clothing rack, like a drying rope, on a trip when you have a hotel? Like, are there no laundromats or anything? Oh, man, it's kind of weird, but like the fact that it's so casually bringing up that it's like a must-have, like it's making me wonder if it's actually like a thing. Like for instance, like if I travel to Japan, should I plan on drying clothing if I stay long enough to need to wash clothes? Because like if I were taking like a 1 or 2 week trip, I wasn't kind of planning on bringing 14 sets of clothing to wear, so I probably would want to wash my clothes at some point.
それよりも諦めておとなしく縛られろ。痛くしないから。
Nope, that's not quite true, because if you don't tie somebody up to the point where it would be uncomfortable, then they can easily get out. Crap. I don't think I can take the humiliation of being tied up and blindfolded. I wanted to run to the other side of this massive room, but since we can't be more than a meter apart, all I could do is glare at her and back away, though eventually we'd hit a wall and that'd be the end of that.
言っておくが、もし本当にそれで縛るつもりなら、俺もおとなしくはしていないぞ。
Fair point.
お前がシャワーを浴びている時も寝ている時も何度も激しく抵抗して電流が流れるようにしてやるからな、クマパン。
So naturally that'll shock me too. But sacrifices must be made. If I die, I'm taking her with me. I mean, true.
卑怯な。あとクマパン言うな。
今日はお前だ。わかった。ではこうしよう。100歩譲って目隠しは甘んじて受ける。その代わりロープはなしにしろ。
I think that's a fair point. Or else I won't be able to sleep at all.
何かあったら文字通りすぐさまお縄を頂戴すればいい。
Hey, I mean, to be fair, I mean the consolation at that point's kind of moot, but it's a decent compromise, I think.
誰がうまいこと言えと。
Despite Kurisu's knee-jerk at-channel response, she gave the idea some thought. And
わかったわ。じゃあロープはなしってことにする。
there, now we're being reasonable humans.
本当か？
ええ。その代わり、アイマスクだけは着用してもらうけど、いいわね。
Fair.
まあそれくらいならば 我慢しよう。
I can at least pretend I'm just wearing the eye mask as a sleep aid.
じゃあこれを装着して。
Kurisu handed me the mask. It's a bit annoying, but a promise is a promise. I put the eye mask on with my own 2 hands.
じゃあそのままじっとしてて。
な、
No!
よいしょっと。
おい。
何か？
何かではない。なぜ俺は縛られているのだ。約束が違うじゃないか。
ちょっと動くな。アイマスクがずれちゃったじゃない。
それはお前が縛るからだろうが。
さっきのは寝る時の話でしょ。今から私はシャワーを浴びるのよ。
Ah.
悪いけどせめてその間だけはその格好でいてもらうから。
なんか
I thought of lodging a few more complaints, but then I realized that it would just be a waste of time. Besides, I was tied up whether I disagreed with it or not.
わかった。ではさっさとシャワーなりなんなり浴びてくるがいい。
I mean, to be fair, he could really turn this on Kurisu if he screamed for help and people came running in and saw that he was tied up in her room. Like, that would definitely look worse for her.
ああ、そうそう。あとこれもお願いね。
Oh gosh, was it gonna be headphones or something?
これとはなんだ。
ヘッドホンよ。
Yeah.
ヘッドホン？
Can't even
なぜそんな
hear
もの
her
をすれ
taking
ば
a
ならんのだ。
そ
shower?
れはあんたが私のシャワーの音を聞いて変な想像をしないためよ。
She's really, 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 really overly concerned about the way people think about her. I mean, okay, I can kind of see why, but at the same time, I think it's a bit over the top. Even for an anime type thing. Or a visual novel, even. Excuse me? What is she trying to hide? Oh, maybe she sings in the shower.
ん？はは、さてはお前。
Oh gosh.
何よ。
ホテルのシャワールームといえばユニットバスだから、一緒に別の用も足そうと。
Hmm.
だってばほんと最低。ほんとデリカシーないしほんと殺す。
Come on, it's fine. Humans go to the bathroom. It's normal. It's absolutely fine. Was it gonna destroy, like, but because you don't, you like, does it make you just suddenly not a human if you have to use the toilet? Heck, that makes you human. It's uncomfortable, I know. I hate going to the bathroom in public or even remotely in public, but still, come on. You're not in a position to be picky.
待て、冗談のつもりだったのだ。まさか本当のことだとは。
それ以上言ったらマジ殺すからな。
This is just a stress ball.
すみません。
I'm sorry, please forgive me. She's literally got me blind and bound. This really could be dangerous. Yeah, it's true. This won't end well. So there I was, tied up, senses deprived by the eye mask and headphones, waiting for Kurisu to finish taking her shower. Be nice if he could take a shower, but I'm guessing that's not going to be a thing. Did he actually fall asleep, like waiting for her? Must have fallen asleep. What could have happened afterwards? Oh, that's right. Kurisu got out of the bathroom and complained about all sorts of little things I'd somehow done wrong, and I guess we both crashed after that. The lights are still on. Jeez. She insisted that I wear the eye mask, but I must have forgotten. I checked the clock. It's past 10 p.m. Wow. It was about 6 p.m. when we were arguing, so it's only a few hours that I slept. Oh boy. I heard Kurisu sigh from just over my head. Of course, she's asleep in her bed and I'm on the floor. But even the floor of this room is luxurious. It was actually more comfortable than sleeping on the couch in the lab. That's depressing.
Papa.
Oh dear. Her voice was barely audible, but I heard it.
ごめんなさい。パパ。だから。
I wonder what kind of dream she's having. She said so. What was she going to say after that? Why is this genius girl trying to be a scientist? Why did she travel overseas? And why is she crying?
No.
I wonder if in this world line we actually go to the meeting with her dad and Anori. Is that where it was? That'd be really interesting. I stopped thinking about it. It's none of my business, and as far as I'm concerned, I never heard a thing. What a gentlemanly way to go about it. I put the eye mask on and went back to sleep. The next morning, well, perhaps I should say afternoon, since it was already past noon by the time we left the hotel and headed toward the lab. From Ocha no Mizu, Ocha no Mizu. There we go. Just gotta think about it for a second. We crossed the, Hijirabashi Bridge and passed the Yushima Shado Shrine and the Kanda Myojin Shrine on our way to Akihabara. Was this paragraph meant to torture me? It's only about a 20-minute walk. But as we made our way through the back streets of Akihabara, we had an unexpected meeting.
Oh,
hey, it's Luca and Mocha.
Lukako. それに
Kiryu-san? Ohayo.
Lukako and Finger. That really was unexpected. Out of the ordinary, in fact.
お前たち何をしているのだこんなところで
These questions on my mind simply slipped out of me. Mocha slowly pointed at a small, nondescript building. I waited for her to keep going, but she remained silent. Outside of her messages, she really is a woman of few words. I tried to get a little more info out of her.
あれがどうしたというのだ
Okay. The name?
アークリライト
Oh, yeah, that's who she works with.
ああ、アークリライトってもしかして桐生さんがバイトしてるっていうヘンプロじゃない？そう。
Yeah. So why Luca here? I see. I do remember hearing that she worked here. Ironic, given how bad she is at communicating with people. I thought she might have been fired by now, but I guess that's not the case. It must be the most tolerant company in the world. Hey, she's actually a good writer, as we learned in the last playthrough. If I'm ever in need of a job, this is the first door I'll knock on. Though that would mean I'd have to kowtow to Mocha because she would be a senior employee. Can't imagine I'd like that very much. Anyway, that's not important right now.
なるほどな始圧師がここでバイトをしていることは分かったがしかしなぜルカ子まで一緒にいるのだ
撮影お願いしてたの
Ooh, and Luca actually agreed.
撮影秋葉原に舞い降りた本物の巫女
Ah.
何ルカ子がか
そうグラビア飾れって編集長の
Aww. And like Luca's all embarrassed. Clever. Sorry about that. I don't know what's into my throat. I know there are cosplayers who dress up in Shrine Maiden costumes, but Lukako might be a real Shrine Maiden in Akiba. Well, aside from the maiden part.
ルカ子は男だぞ雑誌で取り上げるには看板に偽りありではないのか
写真じゃわからないから平気
Right. This seems very unconsidered somehow. Like, wouldn't Lukako's life get harder if this feature blows up and he becomes so super popular? Perhaps not. This generation might be more accepting of something like that, like him, someone like him. That might even become key to his popularity. If Lukako were to get popular, would we be able to make money off of him? Okabe! We could copyright his image and make official Lukako-sponsored products. The future gadget laboratory could almost function as a maid cafe. Might be a good idea. Hey, we're starting to dip into the Ferris route of it.
それでルカ子はどうするつもりだ
No response. What's going on? He's looking at me and Kurisu and blushing.
どうしたのかしら漆原さん
Are we holding hands without thinking about it?
さあなおいルカ子聞いていないのか
僕のこと呼びましたか
Wow, he's really out of it.
お前は指圧師の依頼を受けるのかと聞いているのだ。
あ、いえ、ただ僕はとりあえず話だけでも聞いてくれって言われたから。
だから
Ah.
受けるのか断るのかどちらなんだ。
だから受けるつもりは。
Once again, Lukako blushes while looking from Kurisu to me and back again.
どうしたの漆原さん、もしかして具合でも悪いの？いえ、そういうわけじゃなくて、
ただどうした？
ただやっぱり本当なんだって思って。
No, wait, what?
本当？本当ってどういうこと？
What has he been hearing?
さっき桐生さんが。
指圧師がどうした？
二人が一緒に出てくるところを見たって言うから、
Oh. Oh.
ホテルからそれも手をつないで。
Oh, yeah. I can see the problem here. Bitch!
指圧師！
Did you see us together?
お二人の関係は。
Oh gosh.
違う！あれは単に出てきただけで。
Uh-huh.
入ったから出てきたんですよね。
Probably. Oh no.
それはそういうことでもそれは違くて。
Oh no.
テンパりすぎだぞクリスティーナ。しかも指圧師も指圧師だ。こういう時だけ饒舌になりよって。
Why are you so chatty? That's what she does. Are you serious? Okay, what? Oh my gosh, you both came out of the hotel holding hands. Are you two, you know? Come on, tell me. Come on. Don't just stand there, Moak. Oh, man. Ugh.
だからといってわざわざメールで送ってくるな。
こういう時どう言っていいのか。僕とにかくおめでとうございます。
Oh boy.
だから違うんだってば。というわけなの。
After that uncomfortable misunderstanding, we felt obligated to explain ourselves to Mocha and Lukako.
つまりあの時手をつないでいたのも仲が良かったのではなく、逆に喧嘩中だったというわけだ。
Right. As a side note, Kurisu and I now have pretty good understanding of how much voltage needs to build up before we get our shock. Meaning that if we feel an electrical shock coming while we're arguing, we automatically hold each other's hands. That makes it very confusing for anyone watching to determine whether we are friends or enemies.
そういうわけだから、私とこいつの間には何のやましいこともなければ、これから先もそういうことが起こることはありえないの。
Wow. That was really fast.
尺に触る言い方だな。言っておくが俺の方こそ、お前のようなめんどくさい女はお断りだ。
Come on, she's delightful.
はあ？それはこっちのセリフです。あんたみたいな男となんて噂されるだけで鳥肌が立つ。
なんだと？
何よ。
We hold hands.
そういうこと
だから二人とも分かったな。
You know what? They're getting closer to one mind, though I'm not sure if it's like, actually working properly.
つまり喧嘩するほど仲がいいってことですか？
違う。
It's like right over their head.
で、一晩同じ部屋で過ごして結局何もなかったん？下手ですな。
No, it doesn't.
だからないと言っているだろうが、お前までそんなことを言うのかだるよ。
Why does everyone, including Shiny Finger and Lukako, have such dirty minds? This world can't operate if everyone's thinking from the waist down. Truly a deplorable state of affairs.
だってさ、おにゃの子とホテルなのだぜ。スウェーデンとか言うっしょ。何もしないってのも、それはそれで失礼なんじゃね？
That is horrifically deplorable.
ね、そういう男の理屈を勝手に押し付けないでくれる？
そうだ。そもそも 俺が助手と何か妙な関係に陥るなどということは、たとえ世界に俺と助手2人だけになったとしてもありえないことだ。
That's a little harsh.
そこまで言われるとなんかムカつく。
Yeah. Why? I've been telling her stuff like that since yesterday to grant her peace of mind. Why would she get mad about that now?
ほらね、マユシーが言った通りだったでしょ。
Mayuri, who up till now had her head buried in the English textbook, entered the conversation. I assumed it was homework since it looked like she was having a hard time with it. It would have been. Okay, that's definitely not phrased right. It would have been best to ask Kurisu's help, given that the book was in English, but it seemed Mayuri didn't want to add anything more to Kurisu's pile of troubles.
オカリンはね、そういうことができない人なのです。
Aww.
まゆり、その言い方はあらぬ誤解を招きそうなのでやめてもらえるか？
Yeah, true. It makes it sound like he might be incompetent.
誤解？誤解ってどんな？
要するにだな。それではまるで俺が不能だと。
Yeah, yeah.
いちいち説明すんな。
不能？不能は英語で言うと、インポッシブル。
Phrasing!
まゆしまゆし、今のもう一回言ってくんない？
インポッシブル？
Oh my gosh, stop it!
はあ。
だから変態発言はやめろと言ったろうが。
What is all this? One day. It's only been one day. How is it the atmosphere in the lab has gone back to normal? All the stress and tension of the other day is completely gone. To be fair, it's hard to be serious when you're dealing with Mayuri and Daru. But the fact that we're forced together by number 12 still remains.
そんなことよりだ。早く D メールを送るぞ。
Yeah, we know how this is gonna go
D
though.
メール？なんで？
Because?
お前たちはどうして俺がわざわざクリスティーナのホテルまで行ったと思っているんだ？
なんでって。
ちゃんの泊まってるホテルがどんなところか見たかったからだよね。
I mean, kinda, but you're definitely, yeah,
いいな。やっぱりマユシンも一緒にお泊まりしたい
do they not remember somehow?
冗談だお冗談。そんなに怖い顔しちゃダメ。
Right. How dare he take this so lightly just because it doesn't affect him? I think I need to teach him a lesson.
いいかったる。これは。
ほら、岡部。それより D メール、早く送ってみましょう。
Fair point.
え？おいクリスティーナ？
Before I could launch into lecturing Daru, Kurisu grabbed my arm and dragged me into the development room.
何をする？俺は誰に？
仕方ないわよ。
え？
私たちにとっては一大事かもしれないけど、橋田やまゆりにとっては所詮人事に過ぎないんだから。
True, and from the outside, it's probably freaking hilarious. I know I'm enjoying it.
だからムキになったって仕方ないわ。
She...
それよりね、D メール。文面は同じでいいんでしょ？だったら早く送りましょう。
Right, right.
おう。
I managed to regain my composure and send the email.
やはりダメか。
Did we break it somehow? That's what I'd be thinking. Like, did we somehow actually break it? Despite our repeated attempts, the best we could muster was a series of dings from the phone waiting subject to change.
原因は？
わからない。でも、電話レンジ自体が作動しているところを見れば、多分何か重大な条件が不足しているんだと思う。
しかしその条件が何なのかは分からずか。
And it's too many variables.
そういうことね。
From their position, it'd be really hard to figure out. Bottom line, we have to spend another day like this. How did they figure out the first time? Like, I genuinely can't remember how they made the association between the TV and not. Was it something Suzuha said? I don't know. Even though we've gotten more used to the situation, things still get extremely awkward and even suffocating now and then.
その様子だとやっぱダメぽ？
Looks like Dario was keeping an eye on us. Upon seeing that we'd reached a stopping point, he entered the room.
あ、残念ながらな。原因もわからずだ。
We're obviously disappointed, but the shock we felt yesterday had faded somewhat. We were certain yesterday that we'd free ourselves, and having that ripped away dropped us on the depths of despair. But today, we understood the failure was very possible. We were prepared for this, so the results didn't have the same impact.
そうそう、その代わりつうのも変だけど、僕からオカリンにプレゼントがあるんだお。
Okay.
プレゼント？なんだ？
ほら、例の頼まれてた新作ガジェット。あれ、完成したお。
Oh, wonder what this
何？
is.
もうできたのか？
要は発信機をくっつけるだけだからね。基本構造はとっくにできてて、あとはパーツさえあればって状態だったのさ。
Okay.
そんで昨日2人が帰った後、開発室も空いたことだし、今のうちにって思って仕上げたってわけ。
新しいガジェット？何？あんたたちまだそんなものを作ってたの？
Doesn't sound like Kurisu was listening to our conversation yesterday. Fair, given everything that was going on, I'm pretty sure she had other things on her mind.
新作ガジェットね。で、今度は一体どんなガジェットなの？
知りたいか？クリスティーナよ。
まあ、気になるといえば気になるわね。
Aww.
そうか。ならば教えてやろう。新しいガジェット。
Yeah.
すなわち、13号機は
What is it?
13号機は先に私が作りかけてたものがあるから、そっちは14号機でしょ。
Oh.
あだ14号機はズバリ電波ジャッカーだ。
Radio jacker? Is it just like a surveillance device?
電波ジャッカー？何それ？
わからんのか？読んで字のごとくテレビ放送を電波ジャックする装置だ。天才少女なのだから言葉から類推すればわかるだろう。
Well, I wonder if this could be an artificial lifter. I mean, it depends on what its internals are, because the lifter is probably the electron, projector from the inside the old CRT. So I guess this probably wouldn't have that.
テレビ放送。なるほど。要するに、ブロードキャストシグナルイントリュージョンってことね。
なんだその長ったらしい英語は。
日本では船を乗っ取ったりバスを乗っ取ったりするのをシージャックとかバスジャックとか言ったりするけど、あれって全部和製英語なの。
I see.
そうなん？
そうよ。そもそもハイジャックはそれ一つで乗り物を乗っ取るって意味の一単語なの。
Yeah, fair
だから
point.
船を乗っ取るのもバスを乗っ取るのも全部ハイジャック。ジャックだけで何かを乗っ取るって意味はない。
Yeah.
ねえ、さっきの話だとおそらく14号機はテレビの発信電波の上から別の電波を送って映像を流す装置ってことでしょ？違う？
Oh, wait. I remember this one now, but what do they want to use it for?
いや違わない。その通りだお。
それだと英語ではブロードキャストシグナルイントリュージョン、要するに放送信号への割り込みとか介入とかいった意味になるかしら。
Yeah, it's also very illegal.
そっか。バスジャックは和製英語だったんか。オフ会でのトリビアネタいただきました。
Offline me, that's when he meets up with people online. When members of the internet community meet in real life. Boy, that'd be interesting to do. Wouldn't that be fun though? Be able to meet up at a convention or sometime? Just to show you off the fact that you grew up in America, didn't you? So what if I can't speak English? All I need is the internet and Dr. Excite to beautifully translate all the English I want. Dr. Excite, is that going to be a machine translation site? Dr. Excite. I mean, all we use now is Google Translate, but I'm guessing that's based on an older translating, maybe one of the first translation sites.
だけど今時何のためにテレビ番組を乗っ取ったりするのよ。
そんなの決まっているだろう。
Oh, gosh darn it.
この法王院教魔が世界を混沌に陥れた暁に全世界に向かって俺のありがたいメッセージを発信するためだ。
ならそれこそネットの動画サイトとかにアップすればいいだけの話じゃない。何もそんなことする必要ないと思うけど。
True, because most people don't use signals like that for TV much very often.
それでは 見ようと思った人間しか見れんではないか。つまらん。突然世界中の人間に反強制的に見せるところに燃える男のロマンがあるのだ。わからんか。
わからんな。
that was a lightning fast answer.
まあ全世界っつっても電波の強度から言ってジャックできるのはせいぜい秋葉界隈、しかもアナログテレビ限定なんだけどさ。
Which few and far between.
何それ、ますます意味ないじゃない。
お前のようなスイーツ脳には高尚なロマンは一生かかっても理解できないかもしれんな。
Right.
だるよ。これ以上不毛な話は必要ない。その14号機はどこにあるのだ。
ああ、それなら昨日完成してそこに。あれ？
Uh-oh.
どうした？
What-oh?
いや、確かにその辺りに置いたんだけど見当たらないよ。
That's kind of bad. I quickly surveyed the development room, but I couldn't see anything that even hinted at being number 14.
おかしいな。昨日確かにこの辺に置いたんだけど、もしかして無意識のうちにこっちに置いたとか？やっぱないな。
That's troubling. Kurisu and I followed Daru out through the curtain. He's looking high and low, but hasn't found even a hint of the device's location. Mayuri, who was so engrossed in her English homework she didn't even hear us talking, takes her nose out of her textbook.
どうしたのダルくん、何か探し物？
いやさ、昨日新しく作った新作ガジェット14号機がどっか行っちゃったみたいでさ。まゆし知らない？
14号機ちゃん？どんなの？
それがこれくらいの大きさの。
I gave the room a quick once-over.
どうしたオカリン？もしかして見つけた？
いや、そうではない。どうやら足りないのはそれだけではなさそうだぞ。
Okay, this is getting downright bad.
え？
I look around the room once more, and as I thought...
ない。やはりないぞ。段ボールに入れておいたガジェットが根こそぎなくなっている。
Who would steal the gadgets?
嘘！
If I remember correctly, I put everything in one place in the corner of the development room, and all of it's completely gone. Could we have been burglarized?
大変だ。警察に電話しなければ。マイリー、今すぐポリスを呼んでくれ。119、いや117、どっちだ？
119 or wait, no, 117? Isn't it? Like, it's not 911, because that's US, so... I thought... Something's telling me it's 114.
Okabe落ち着け。それどっちも違う。
Then Mayuri raises her voice for some reason.
どうしたまゆし？何か心当たりでもあったん？
Uh-oh.
そういえばね、言うの忘れてたよ。
What? What?
忘れてたって何をだ？
この前言ってたメイクインのお客さんの店長さんいるでしょ？
Oh, the one who wanted to buy them.
それは例のガジェットを買い取ってくれるという人物か？
その人がね、昨日の夜ここに来たのです。
Oh gosh, really? What?
ということはまさか。
段ボールに入ってたガジェットは全部まとめて持って行ってもらっちゃったのです。
And did what with them? Really? I keep
どうしてそ
clicking
れをもっ
the
と
wrong
早く言わ
button.
ないんだ。
ごめんなさい。言わなきゃって思ってたんだけど、まゆしはおバカさんだからつい忘れちゃってたのです。
I wonder if this person was trying to get the time leap, the D-mail / time leap machine, and so asked for all the gadgets. It got all but the time leap machine. The moment I scolded her, Mayuri fell into a gloom. Maybe I was a little too hard on her.
まあ忘れたものはしょうがない。盗まれたというのでなければいいだろう。
Well, kind of. I mean, if he didn't pay for them.
そうよ。まゆりのおかげで資金難から脱出できたんだし、むしろ感謝してもいいくらいだと思う。
Wow.
ごめんなさいおかり。今度から気をつけるね。
もういい。功罪相償うとも言う。
功罪 償う？
今回は罪よりも功の方が大きいことだし、むしろよくやったと褒めてやろう。
Yeah, there you go.
それは喜んでいいのかな？
Yes, yes, you should.
あ、さっきは怒鳴って悪かったな。
マユシーも悪かったからいいのです。
What? Kurisu looked at me quizzically.
あんたってさ、やっぱりマユリには比較的素直よね。
I'd like to think he's mostly honest with everybody.
バカを言え。俺は常に素直だ。
どこがだ？
Anyway, it's a good thing we gained some capital by selling off the gadgets. That should have stayed off our bankruptcy for a while yet. As I chewed the idea over, I noticed that now Daru was wearing a quizzical look.
どうしたのだ、ダル。腹でも減ったか？
違う、そうじゃないよ。ただもしかしたら僕、14号機もその段ボールの中に入れたかもと思われ。
Yeah, unfortunately, you might have lost it.
何？それは確かか？
はっきりは覚えてないけど、そんな気がす。
そうか。
Which would mean that right now at that shopkeep store.
でもそんな難しいもんでもないから作ろうと思ったらすぐ作れるけど。
いや、今すぐ必要というわけでもない。それに最悪、その買い取ってくれた店長とやらに行って買い物せばいいのだから気にするな。
Right, right. We've got money in our hands now anyway. I'm fine with letting the little things go.
あれ？
Another exclamation, this time from Kurisu. Everybody's exclaiming today. Now what could it be?
ねえ、あそこのパソコンの横に置いてあったハードディスク知らない？
Uh-oh.
ハードディスク？いや、俺は知らんが。
え？それってもしかして250ギガの黒いケースに入った？
Uh-oh.
そう、橋田知ってるの？
Uh-oh.
あれマキセ氏のだったんか。そいつはしまったかも。
Uh-oh.
え？
Oh
どう
no.
いうこと？
Oh no.
さっき言った14号機だけどさ、要はハードディスクに録画したデータを送信するガジェットなんだよね。
Oh no!
待って、
No.
ひょっとしてまさか。
It's gonna broadcast what's on her disc? Oh, that's
そのハ
bad.
ードディスク14号機に使っちゃったって。
Go fetch!
使った？それじゃあ。
God, that could have so much
いや
bad
オカ
stuff
リン
on
が
it.
開発室にあるものは使っていいって言うからさ、まさかマキセ氏の私物だったとは思わなくて。
It looks like Dara accidentally used Kurisu's hard disk without knowing that it was hers. It might have time machine stuff on it. We need to get that back. It's true that I said that he could use whatever he wanted, but
普通そういうのって確認してから使うもんでしょ？
そうなんだけど、とりあえず取り付けてみてって思ったもんだからさ。ごめん。
let's go get it.
まあいいではないか。あそこに放置していたお前も悪いのだし、あれほ
Shush.
どのホテル生活を
Shush.
している
Just
の
go
だ。
get it, you idiot.
ハードディスクの1台や2台使われたところでどうということもないだろう。また買えばいいではないか。なあ。
I tried to redirect the blame off myself. Sure, I said that Dara couldn't use anything in the lab, but how was I supposed to know that he'd find something that belonged to her? I could see Kurisu's shoulders beginning to tremble.
そういう問題じゃない！
This may turn out worse than I expected.
落ち着け、クリスティーナ。
I grabbed Christina's hand, hoping to forestall the electric shock. I never could have imagined that my right arm, a wild instrument of uncontrolled chaos, would be used as a tool of peace.
とてもじゃないが落ち着いてなどいられるか！
Oh
ハー
no.
ドディスクの中にはデータが入ったままなんだぞ！
データ？それは大切なものなのか？
Yeah?
大切？それは確認してないからわからないけど、ひょっとしたらその可能性もある。
ひょっとしたらってどういうこと？
あのハードディスクはね、13号機の一部なの。
Oh, yeah. Number 13. That's the new gadget Akushi's been developing.
橋だ。 14号機はあの中にある映像データを世界中のテレビに映すガジェットなのよね。
Wait a minute. Is 13 still the same as it was in Lukaku? Because if it is, it's the one that makes people have hallucinations.
世界中っつうか、出力的にはせいぜい秋葉中くらいしか送れないけど。
Oh no.
それでも、不特定多数の目に触れるという意味では十分よ。
Wait, it also could have wasn't Kurisu saying like a weird like dating sim or something that had like a harem daru ending? What? Because that was a thing, right? Kurisu's face turned a pale shade of blue. This is definitely going to be worse than expected.
クリスちゃん大丈夫？顔色悪いよ。お水飲む？
大丈夫よ。ありがとう、まゆり。
Oh man.
なあ、クリスティーナよ。その13号機というのはどういう機能を持っていたのだ？
それは。
She was oddly hesitant to respond. Is this something she finds difficult to talk about? But if she doesn't explain it to us, we won't know what has her so worried.
どうやら14号機がここから持ち出されたことで大変なことになるらしいというのは分かった。だが、そこのところを説明してくれなければ、具体的に何がどう大変なのかさっぱりわからん。説明してくれるか？
Yes. Finally, the good Okabe comes through.
でも。
Trust us, it's fine. Kurisu studied our faces before she spoke. She was trying to hold back her tears. I think this is the first time I've ever seen her like this.
わかったわ。それじゃあ言うけど。
Oh man.
13号機はね。
Yeah?
13号機は脳の中の思考を映像として記録する機械なの。
Oh. Oh my gosh, that's what was going on in Daru's head. Oh my gosh.
脳内の思考を映像に？
That's freaking crazy.
そんなことが可能なのか？
Holy crap. Daru and I responded in unison. Mayuri merely tilted her head.
別にそう難しいことじゃないわ。例えば、私たちが今こうして見ている映像をデータとして脳に投影する研究は進んでいて、すでに実現段階にまで移行されてる。
Right.
それと同時に視覚情報を映像として記録する研究だって現段階ではかなり進んでるの。
Well, this is still in the realms of fiction, but I mean, there's some potential here. But the big problem is the fact that everyone's, like I said, it's the problem that with Steinsgate in general is everyone's brains are wired uniquely. So just because we know general areas of where the brain maps stuff, each person maps it in a unique pattern. And so technically, in order to make this work, you'd have to develop this technology to work for each person individually because it wouldn't work on anybody else.
私の通ってるビクトル・コンドリア大学の精神生理学研究所が開発した技術にビジュアルリビルディングっていう技術があるんだけど、知ってる？
Right, right.
いや。
Unfortunately, I haven't.
まあ、要は映像データを神経パルス信号にコンバートする技術のこと。この技術を使えば脳にデータ化した神経パルス信号を送り込んで、実際には目にしていない映像をあたかも目の前で見ているかのように思わせることができる。
Right, so that's the hallucination technique.
それはバーチャルリアリティというやつか？
まあ、わかりやすい言葉で言えばそういうことね。で、これができるならまた逆もできるということ。
Alright.
しかし、そんなに簡単にいくもんなん？
もちろん簡単じゃないわよ。でもね、ここでもう一つ。私が大学で研究していたのは、人の記憶を神経パルスとして解析することなの。
記憶を？
Right.
まあ難しい話だから細かいことははしょっちゃうけど、記憶をデータとして取り出せるなら、頭の中で見た心象風景や思考なんかもデータとして取り出せるんじゃないかって。
Interesting. What does that mean? That she was able to go from it might be possible to actually finding a way to make it happen? In this lab?
しかし、そんな神経パルスをどうやって取り出すというのだ？とてもじゃないが、そんな大掛かりな装置、この開発室の中には。
別に大掛かりなものは必要ないわ。これがあれば。
Have what? Oh, right. That's the beginning of the time leap machine. Kurusu had a headphone-like object that I once saw in the lab some time ago.
もしかしてそれが。
ええ、VR 技術を用いて作ったヘッドセットみたいなものね。かなり簡素化してはいるけど。
Which means I was right. That really is part of number 13.
なるほど。13号機の概要は分かった。
Right.
クリスティーナ、お前がこのラボの新しいガジェットとして何やらとんでもないものを作ろうとしていたことも分かった。
Yeah, literally mind-blowing.
だが、なぜそこまで慌てなきゃならんのだ？
From what I just heard, it sounds like the primary component of number 13 is the headphone-style headset. Meaning the hard disk in the development room was just a storage device.
それはあんたのせいよ。
Wait, why?
俺の？言っておくが、俺はその13号機がどんな機能を持ったガジェットなのかすら知らなかったんだぞ。それがなぜ俺のせいになるのだ？
あんた、前に寝てる私の頭にヘッドセットを装着したでしょ？
Oh.
何？
Now that she mentions it, I might have. I remember that. Yeah. I think I did. That was just before the whole number 12 affair. I was suspicious of those almost headphones, so I decided to put them in Kurusu's head while she was sleeping, because, you know, that makes so much sense. But I also see now that it's caused a bit of a problem.
あの時にデータ化された私の頭の中の思考があのハードディスクに保存されてる可能性がある。
So, her dream.
ここで問題になるのが、橋田があのハードディスクを14号機の一部として使ってしまったということよ。
Which could be broadcast.
あ、そうか。14号機の機能を使えば、あの中に保存されてるかもしれない牧瀬氏の思考データが。
そう。秋葉原の街中のモニターに映し出されてしまう可能性がある。もしも、そんなことになったら。
That could be really bad. The color again drains from Kurusu's face.
おい、そのデータはそれほどまでにまずいものなのか？
I imagine Kurusu's thoughts being something that leads to the cyber terrorism or something similarly dramatic.
だからそれはわからないんだって。でも、下手をすれば世界が終わってしまうほどのものかもしれない。
Really? You having dreams about that?
何？そんなになのか？
ダメ！その先は怖くてとてもじゃないけど考えられない。考えたくない。
She can be dramatic when she wants to be. Kurusu held her body with her arms and shivered. This normally confident woman seemed scared half to death right now. This really is a big deal.
もしかしてそれもマユシーのせいかな？
No, it's kind of all of our fault.
いや、どっちかってと、置いてたハードディスクを使った僕のせいかも。
And Okabe told you could, and Kurusu left it in the spot where it was compromisable, so it was all of us.
この際誰のせいだとか、そういうのを追求しても仕方ないわ。そんなことより、その14号機を回収する方が先よ。
Yes, let's do it.
確かに牧瀬氏の言う通りだ。とりあえずマユ氏がガジェットを売ったっていう人に連絡取って14号機だけ返してもらった方がいいと思われ。
At least the
そう
drive.
ねえまゆり、その店長さんに連絡してくれる？
Uh-oh.
どうしたマユ氏、連絡取れるよね？
Uh-oh.
それが知らないかも。
I don't know if this guy's actually a shopkeeper.
連絡先知らないの？
How did you...
じゃあその店はどこにあるん？
その人はメイクインにたまに来るお客さんで、だから多分秋葉原にあるお店だと思うんだけど、どこにあるなんていうお店なのかはよく知らないのです。
This is gonna be harder than finding a needle in a haystack.
なんてこと。
Kurisu held her head in her hands and again looked like she was about to cry. I can't believe that Mayuri doesn't know anything about the person she conducted business with. But Mayuri is Mayuri. She didn't think that it was a trustworthy person. She wouldn't have sold the gadgets to him. Mayuri may seem flighty at times, but she's actually a good judge of character. She's a lab member 002 after all. That should be proof enough.
とにかく ここで頭を抱えてても仕方ない。私はそのお店を探してみる。
Yes.
そういうことなら僕も手伝うを。
明日いいの？
Of course. We gotta fix
いい
this.
のも何も見つからないとやばいんでしょ。
それはまあ確かにかなりやばい。
だったらやるしかないじゃん。秋葉の店ってことなら僕の方が詳しいし。
マユシーも手伝うよ。だって元はといえばマユシーのせいだから。
It's all of our faults.
まゆり、
Of course, the atmosphere gets shattered by Okabe.
滑稽だな。
どうしたんオカリン。急に笑い出しちゃってさ。
これが笑わずにいられるか。なあクリスティーナよ。
何よ岡部。何がおかしいのよ。
Kurisu was about to continue, but I stopped her with a raised hand and continued.
いいか。何度言ってもお前たちは忘れているようだから、もう一度教えてやる。
Oh dear, oh dear.
この未来ガジェット研究所の目的は何だ。
ガジェットさんを作ってみんなで遊ぶ？
To bring chaos to the world. Oh no, do you think this is his moment?
違う、そうじゃない。
I can't believe that she said the exact same thing as Daru. I guess I have to teach them once again.
いいか。我が未来ガジェット研究所の目的は、作り出したガジェットを使い、世界の支配構造を覆し、
See, I get
混
it.
沌をもたらすことだ。しかしどうだ？クリスティーナの話によれば、14号機によってもしかしたら世界に未曾有の危機が訪れるかもしれないという。考えてみろ。それこそ我々の望む世界の混沌。何も慌てる必要などないではないか。
ちょっとそれじゃオカリンはまさかこのままほっといてもいいって言うん？
誰もそんなことは言っていない。
でも現に今。
だが少し
I shout over whatever Daru was trying to say.
少しまだ時は満ちていない。
Oh, okay, I see.
それにだ、この兵王隠居魔の望みはあくまでも我が手によって世界に混沌をもたらすこと。第三者の手によって偶発的にもたらされた混沌など何の意味もないものなのだ。したがって14号機が引き起こすかもしれないという世界の終焉は、この俺にとってむしろ好まざる事態であると言える。
Yep.
よって法王隠居魔はここに命じる。これより未来ガジェット14号機の回収を総力をもって行うのだ。
Let's do it. It seems I've rendered everyone speechless.
なんとなく分かってきた。
Yeah.
なんだ。分かったとは何のことだ。
Yes, yes.
岡部ってさ、なんだかんだ言ってやっぱり素直じゃないのよね。
だよな。いちいち必要ないプロセス入れずに、あのままじゃあみんなで探そうぜって言えばいいのにさ。
But it's fun and has epic music scores.
何を言っているのだ。俺はただラボメンとしての心構えを語っただけで、素直とか素直じゃないとかそういうのは関係ない。
ほら、そういうところが素直じゃないのよ。
でもそこがオカリンのいいところなんだよ。クリスちゃんも分かってくれて嬉しいのです。
そうね。いいところかどうかは別として、ずっと一緒に行動してるとだんだん思考パターンが分かってきたかも。
Yeah.
お、もしかして12号機の効果が現れてるのかも。ってことはもうすぐ外れるフラグ来た？
お前なんぞに。
どうせ私なんかに理解させるほど単純な思考じゃないとでも言うんでしょ。
Oh, fetch. God, no.
図星だったっぽい。これは本当に12号機って効果あるのかもしらんね。
いいからほらくだらないことを言っていないで14号機を探すぞ。
Let's go! In spite of the gravity of our situation, we managed to shake out the feeling of inevitable doom and agree to split up and search for 13 and 14. Alright. Or we would have if Kurisu and I had not been bound together. She and I were forced to form our own little search party. But that's where we're going to end for today. Thank you guys so much for being here today. This was a fun episode. A lot of setup, but adorable, horrible, like, just all the interactions in the hotel room were just... They were gold, but what nonsense. But I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm guessing that the world wouldn't actually end, but it could. You know, I mean, she has literally ended the world with her own thoughts and ideas before, but I'm guessing it has more to do with her, like her deepest, darkest secrets getting out, her dreams getting out. That's what really she wants to protect. But for now, we will just kind of enjoy our laurels and enjoy the search party next episode. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the heaviest patrons who have been supporting the channel. They were really helpful with my latest patron cast, and I'm going to be announcing some new changes to the channel very, very shortly, so look forward to that. Thank you guys for directly supporting the channel. There's going to be more fun things on the horizon because of their efforts to strengthen and buoy us up, so make sure to give them a big shout out and a thank you. And more importantly, thank you for all of you who are watching this video, regardless of if they're patron or not. You guys are fantastic. I really appreciate you spending the time with me and being able to share these fantastic stories. So hopefully we'll be able to keep you coming back for more, because I'm having a blast and I want you to enjoy yourselves as well. Join the Discord if you want to have more conversations, or you want to recommend a visual novel for me to play after I finish the current series. I've got a bit of a backlog that we're working through, but anytime you throw something out there, just another vote, another tally makes it easier for me to keep up with them and makes it more likely that I'll pick them up in the future. So make sure you put them out there. But thank you guys so much, and I appreciate everything you do. And until next video watching me, I'll see me next. I'll see you there.